Hello, my name is Mallory Charche, and this month's Step Career video focuses on careers that require college coursework beyond a four-year degree.
My name is John Haggerty.
My name is Josh Clark.
Hi, I'm Tara Garza.
Jake North.
I kind of have two. I'm an athletic trainer and also a chiropractor.
Currently, I am an educational consultant with the Northwest Ohio Educational Service Center.
My current profession is a nurse practitioner. A nurse practitioner is a nurse who has furthered their education. I provide services in my office from newborns all the way up till the elderly. I also go to the local nursing homes and take care of residents there. I'm able to write prescriptions, diagnose people with illnesses, chronic diseases, order testing that may need to be done, and all that's done in the office.
Certified athletic trainer.
For sure, I always loved sports. So I kind of started off in athletic training because I knew I loved sports, but I wasn't going to play them in college or anything like that. So I went into athletic training so I could be part of sports there. Now, as I went into athletic training, I chose a school that was pretty well known for athletic training, and it was called Wilmington College. The reason I chose that is because they had two different internships. And if you were the top two in your class, you could go either with the Bengals or the Reds. I got really lucky, and I got to go with the Reds. So once I was down there, we were doing all our athletic training stuff with stretching and exercising and different things like that. And there were a few backs that we just couldn't get better. So they had actually a team chiropractor that was there as well. And these guys that we were stretching and we were doing everything for, they would go into his office after we stretched them out, and they'd come out and like, oh, I feel great now. So I was like, man, I've got to figure out how to do that. I didn't know it was going to be an extra 4 years after athletic training school, but yeah, that's how I became a chiropractor. So it's kind of tied into both of those there.
Yeah, well, I started out as a high school English teacher, first in Wabash, Indiana, then moved to Ohio, where I'm originally from. Taught at Edgerton for 2 years, and then went to Tenora, taught across the hallway from Mr. Hunter, actually. Then became the principal of Evergreen High School, and we had our third child, so I thought I would step away from being a principal for a while and become an educational consultant with the ESC.
So my journey is a little bit different than most. I started at my junior year. I went to Fort County, and there I took health occupations. It's now called health careers. I did that my junior and senior year, so I was able to get my STNA, or my state tested nursing assistant license. So I was able to work at the local hospital my junior and senior year. After graduating high school, I went to Northwest State, where I got my associate's degree in nursing and sat for my RN license. So there's a test after you graduate, and I got my RN, worked for a while. I then went back to school online, Indiana Wesleyan University, for about 2 to 3 years and got my bachelor's degree in nursing. Continued to work with that degree, and then decided to go back on for my master's degree, which I did at Graceland University, which is out in Kansas City, Missouri. There again, I had to set for a test to be able to be certified as a family nurse practitioner.
I always played sports in high school, and I still love to play and watch sports. And I initially wanted to do physical therapy, but as I learned about athletic training and the fact that I could do healthcare, like the physical therapy side of it, and watch sports, I thought that was the best of both worlds, so I went with athletic training.
I've got to give my mom a lot of credit for this. I was probably not the best student in high school, so she pretty much forced me into it. She was like, you're going to college. I decided I was going to be a teacher. Well, my mom, my uncle, my aunts, my grandma, my grandpa, they're all teachers. So she's like, you're not going to be a teacher, choose something else. So that's when I stumbled into athletic training. So honestly, when I left high school, I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do. I knew I liked sports, and that's how I started to get into it. Once I fell into the athletic training classes, I fell in love. So when did I decide I was going to go into college? Right after high school, my mom pretty much forced me into it. It was good. It was good. It was good for me. I figured I was going to go to college, but I was still a little, I guess I didn't really know what I was doing yet. So thanks to Mom, she pushed me into it.
I decided that college was the path for me. After talking about it with my parents extensively, realizing that I had some some gifts in English and writing, and really just trying to match those gifts with and passions to a specific degree. I chose Huntington University in Indiana for a few reasons. Number one, I played baseball there, and also it was a nice small atmosphere that allowed me to interact with the professors and get the experience I needed.
So I knew starting my junior year that I wanted to go on to college, looking into the medical field. Nursing was kind of where I wanted to be in. So I went to Northwest because it was a community college, had very high ratings as far as the nursing department goes, and it was local, so I was able to stay at home and help raise my children. I had children at that time, so I was able to go to community college, get my degree, and raise my kids at the same time.
I knew that I wanted to do healthcare, so I knew that college was going to be necessary for that. And at the time, athletic training required a bachelor's degree, and I found that Findlay had a really good master's program for athletic training, and so I thought that I would go with a master's program to get a leg up and kind of have better chances at getting a job.
I would say personality is huge. You've got to be able to get along with people, and if you can't talk to people, if you can't explain what's going on, it's kind of scary for a person, especially when you're rehabbing, stretching, doing different things with their body, or even teaching them exercises that may be slightly painful at first. So communication and personality is huge. So I'd say I have a decent personality and I can get along with a lot of different people. So that's probably why I would say I'm successful at what I do.
I think one thing that helped me find success in my current profession is that, teaching is all about continuing to grow, right? It's like students in a classroom. You have to get better every day, and I really liked trying to do new things, trying to do innovative things, use technology, and so there was always that drive to get better. And I think that that's a drive that really anybody needs, regardless of what career path they choose, is that drive to want to continue to grow.
So one thing I think that really helped in my profession was going to Fort County. They prepared me to be a nurse as far as some of the basic skills that you need. I was able to work as an STNA in the hospital my junior and senior year, so then when I graduated as a nurse, I was able to continue to work there. Plus, I had some skills already that I knew when I went to college.
I would say I'm a people person, and I think it's easy for people to talk to me, and so when the kids start to trust me and open up to me, I think that's helped a lot for my athletes to be able to trust me in what I do.
One of the best parts of my job is to return people to work or athletics pain-free. Get them to do something that they weren't able to do because they were injured. So that's what I love, is when they can get back and they come in and they're like, oh my goodness, I worked an entire week and didn't have a little bit of pain, and I was missing a week before because I was in so much pain. Or you know what, I couldn't run because of my ankle, and now I'm able to run and I'm able to play basketball again. Those are the best things about my job. The one thing I don't like about my job is somebody we can't help. When they come in and we try everything and it's just not working. I don't like that. I don't like saying, you know what, I can't help you. But the good thing about it is I've got a great team behind me that I can maybe find somebody who can help them. So,
one thing I like about my job is that it's unique. I get to see a lot of people. I get to network with all kinds of great teachers and administrators, and get to see students and the initiatives that are going on in their buildings. One thing I don't like about my job, I wouldn't say it's necessarily something I really dislike, but I wish I could be in one place more. For example, I'm here at Hicksville 2 or 3 days a week. I'd love to see what that would look like, being here 5. So.
One thing I like is being around people. I enjoy helping others. Doing the profession that I am in, I'm able to see people when they're ill, help them feel better. I also do a lot of wellness information, so whether that be just keeping somebody healthy or giving them education on how maybe they can lose weight so that they can have better health, that's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that. One of the things that I don't like would be all the paperwork. There is a lot of paperwork, a lot of time charting. I like to spend time with my patients, so I'll jot down maybe a little bit in the computer, but then there are days that on my off days, I go back into the office and work on catching up on my charts and getting all of that finished. So that's one thing I would say, just the paperwork takes some time.
What I like is I get paid to watch sports all day. What I don't like is that usually when kids come to me, they're hurt or have something going on, so you have to kind of work through that.
The one thing that I learned through my career, when I got into chiropractic, when I actually graduated school, after the 8 years it took to do that, I worked in a place in Columbus that I wasn't happy with. I actually thought about going back to school and becoming a physical therapist or changing my entire career path, because I was afraid that I'd wasted 8 years of my life. I was doing something I wasn't happy with day in and day out. I didn't like my job. I didn't like where I worked. It was very frustrating. So I looked and looked and looked, and I just kind of prayed about it and said, what do I do with this? Luckily, I applied for a job up here at the hospital. They would need an athlete trainer, and I talked them into letting me be a chiropractor there too. And I absolutely love it. This is my dream job. This is what I always wanted to do. So the one bit of advice that I would give to somebody, if you find that, you know what, I love athletic training, or I love painting, or I love welding, or plumbing, whatever it may be, if you find what you love, don't give up on it, maybe that first job, if it doesn't work out the way you think it's going to. If it's really tough, if you're working under somebody you don't like, if something's just not meshing, don't give up. Try a new angle. Because like I said, I almost gave up on what I did, and now I couldn't be happier. My job is absolutely perfect. I love everything I do with the athletes. I love everything I do with my chiropractic patients. But I was frustrated when I first got out. So the main goal is, or the main bit of advice is, don't give up. If you find something you love, try a different path. If the first one isn't working, you may find something that is really true, kind of meant for you to be in.
You got to know what you want to do for you, not for your parents, not for your grandparents, not for your teachers, not for your guidance counselors. It's got to be something that you would like to do. Find what you're passionate about, explore those passions, learn about them, study them. College is not for everyone, and if you're not someone who wants to experience college, find your trade. There's a lot of good money out there, and there's a need for skilled workers as well. So just find your passion and pursue it.
I would say while you're starting to look into different career options, have an open mind. Kind of do and think about things that you enjoy doing. If you enjoy music, then look at the different options. There's tons of music options. If you like the medical side of things, look into the medical field, see what's out there. If you have a dream, I say go for it. There's nothing that you can't do. It may not be like, for me, some people will get their nursing degree and go right on and get their master's degree. So it does take time, whereas I took my time and did it in steps so that I could raise my family and take care of the kids and that, but still at the end was able to reach my goal. I would say also to pay attention, find a mentor or maybe your parents, somebody that has a little idea about not only your likes, but your talents, and go over those plans with them and take what they have to say to heart. And most of the time, parents and mentors, they have your best interest at heart, so it's best to listen to maybe what they're saying. And the biggest thing is if you have a dream, go for it.
I would say start early and start kind of hashing out what you like and what you don't like, and then as you get that narrowed down, to see what kind of professions are out there and talk with as many people as possible that are doing those professions. And then once you get it narrowed down, just start to observe and shadow as much as possible.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this year's STEP career videos. Please make sure to fill out the Google form Mrs. Chamberlain sent you earlier